Whether you're living the dream or working towards making your dreams reality, approach each day with renewed enthusiasm, and at the end of the day, you're closer than you can even imagine to living your dreams. You can find quotes like this and other great quotes on Fick and Bricks' Instagram for the Fig of the Day. This was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique. We're just giving you other outlets to enlighten your day.
And usually for PG-13 episodes, like, it's one swear word's cool, but it takes it to a rated R. Because you mentioned it like 2 or 3 times. And they're like, oh, we're rated R.
We touch on passionate subjects.
All right, so I'm going to start us in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, everyone, to Cali Brick Clique, episode number 31. Whew, it's been a good week. And before I get into the introductions, remember you can find this podcast anywhere you can find podcasts on any platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, blah, 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 blah. And like always, we have Claire, the plastic architect, who is once again on location, but this time at Brick Fair, Virginia. We have Ninja.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to follow that.
Same location. I'm just here.
Same location, different day. And today's guest, we have Kate, aka BrickHuntress. Welcome to the platform.
Yay, I'm so excited. I've actually been waiting for this for a while. I just
really
been there for some time now, and when you asked me to do it, I was like, yes.
I'm flattered.
Nice.
Well, welcome. I kind of know how everyone's week's been going, but how's everyone's week been going?
Pretty smooth, I gotta say.
Not bad.
Everyone's been traveling, but Ninja and I.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been. I was really anxious to get out of here because we're going to be traveling for 2.5 weeks total, and to take my cat to my dad's house. I haven't done that in 6 years because I haven't been gone for this amount of time. And in the process of putting him in the carrier, he cut me straight off my whole collarbone. So I'm in high neck for the.
Oh, so there's a purpose for your outfit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I brought this already. I actually wear a lot of high neck regardless, so it's fine. But it's serving dual purpose. Yeah, it wasn't super fun. I was wearing a tank top, and he just went and then so I'm a little bit worried about him. He's been under my bed for 3 days apparently at my dad's house.
Oh no!
I know, just the sheer amount of panic. And then we are here in Virginia, which is super fun. It's my first LEGO convention ever. And
what? No.
Oh
my God. I'm so excited for you right now.
I'm happy for you, but I mean, now every convention going forward is going to be a letdown.
No, I know that. I'm very aware that this is one of the best ones to go to, and then I think one is one of the best, and it's really fun. We're not showing anything, but we're able to experience it together for the first time, so it's a lot of fun.
Is that why you picked Virginia for your first show?
Well, yeah, I mean,
all the friends are there.
Yeah, we wanted to see a lot of our friends. It's mostly about that, and then also I don't know, it just was I honestly barely even thought about it. It was of course, I'm going, and as I'm walking around, I'm this is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a thing I do forever, and I'm gonna get super involved in my local one. I already know this because I'm somebody who is an organizer and rallies people together, and I'm this is gonna happen. And then I'm hopefully my kids like Lego because they're coming here. Brick Caps Martin is here with his son, and it's their 12th one together, and he's got photos of him. It's so cute.
Yeah, I saw those photos earlier.
His builds are insane.
Yes.
Right. The videos don't do him justice.
No, they don't.
And then look, everyone here is very talented in their own separate ways, but he's just on he's on a world just on his own. Do you know what I mean? It's almost unfair to him. He needs to he needs people at his caliber to you know what I mean, be inspired by as well. But I think he does get inspired by a lot of people. But do you know what I mean? I feel I was is there a more competitive scenario for you, buddy? Because this, it's really cool. It's it's also really special being here early. Anyway, I can get into it more, but I'm good. I'm really excited. Anyway, my whole point was like I started out really anxious.
I know, right?
I'm really happy now. I'm really happy we're here, even though the hotel sucks, but it's fine.
Well, Ninja, how are you?
Oh man, I mean, I'm good. I don't know. Everything feels more opened up. Like I went to a birthday party. It was like a small gathering, but it just feels. I guess like the vaccines make everyone. I don't know.
Oh, so it didn't go
I don't even wanna
backwards for
touch on
you? It went backwards
No.
for us in LA.
Really?
Yeah, we have to wear
Nah.
masks everywhere.
Maybe it just hasn't hit yet.
Yeah.
But it was like not really like a birthday party. It was just like 7 people. Like, yeah. But it was at someone else's house. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're partying it up.
That's as much traveling as I've done. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you and I are traveling men. We're on a
Down to
grind.
Pasadena.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How about you, Kate?
I'm gonna. Well, of course, the lawn people are here, like mowing the lawn outside. So if you hear
Perfect.
that is.
No worries.
It will last like 5 more minutes. Well, I drove 22.5 hours to Omaha, Nebraska, and I have to say, like, I love traveling. I've always loved traveling. So that
I have that.
really doesn't bother me. Like big road trips, like long trips, I really enjoy them, to be honest.
Actually, best friends.
Yeah, and it just like seeing the country again, because I've done that trip a couple times, like all the way across. I've done it twice now, and then half one like a couple years ago. So it was really cool to see the country again and like not be holed up in your house for a year and a half. It was just like, oh my God, mountains. And like normally I'd probably be like, I'm looking at a whole lot of nothing, right? When you're going through Wyoming and Nebraska, but didn't bother me this time. I was like,
It's like it's all new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to Brick Days this past weekend. Got to be in the company of some pretty amazing builders, met a lot of new people that I hadn't known before, but connected with some friends. So TK Bricks is a big Instagram blogger, etc. He showed as well, and then Roger from the Instagram community and Steve. So the 4 of us kind of met, which was really cool. You meet all these people virtually, right? And
so you've never met them physically?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you guys like were a little clique amongst yourselves that you guys have had, built this relationship outside of the Grams.
No, we had never met before. And so I'm from Oregon. Roger's from Denver, Colorado area. Steve is from Omaha, so that's his home state. And then Tim is from Kansas City. So we're all from different spots, and we all kind of came together and met. And on my way there, I actually stopped by Roger's house because he lives north of Denver. So I was able to like meet his family, and it was really cool. Like it was just, I don't know how to describe it, right? Like you meet people virtually and you're like, I don't think I would have ever done that like 5 years ago. I mean, honestly, right?
Right? Like before you meet people online and then you build a relationship.
Yeah, you're like,
okay,
you're like, I'm not gonna meet you up. Like,
yeah, right. Oh no, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
know
I mean, I
exactly
guess like,
how you
but
feel.
online dating has been like normalized for like a
True.
while.
Very true.
But yeah, the other stuff
Hashtag
though
Twitch.
is
Not
like,
Twitch.
It's like I don't know you.
like it's always been, like
Really know you? I don't know. You know?
yeah, and it's always like via the platforms that like they're associated on, and then people still treat it like the people that
Catfish. Catfishing.
no, it's like
No bueno.
or they treat like your people treat each other like commodities because of the swipeability and stuff. So this is it's very different. It feels very different like when you make friends on this platform and that you spend at least like for me, I feel like I'm spending like every week, if not every day, talking to people. So
That's so true, because I remember the first time like we all met up, when I was waiting in line, I was like, they're probably gonna call and be like, you know what? I'm not gonna show up. Like, I would have done that.
You would have flaked
Like,
out.
you know what? I can't. I'm not gonna make it. Something might have happened. No. Cause I was waiting in line, like, man, why are we even here? Like, we should just go somewhere else. And then you guys showed up, and it was all over. It must have been like the anxiety or something.
Yeah. There's like, trust me. Yeah, like when,
No, I get it. It's like when you build yourself to be this personality, like in a public platform, and you hope not one, like you yourself don't disappoint the people that you're meeting, but like you feel like you're not disappointed by them. Like this expectation that you've built for, like,
right.
Your friends that you've made, you hope to, it's what you see in your head, and your relationship that you've built is what you expect. But so far, like everyone I've met in the live community, like online prior COVID and after COVID, I've never been disappointed at all.
Hey.
So
hey.
I mean, I still remember when Ninja showed up to my store, and I'm like, "What's up, bro? You gonna say what's up or what? You gonna hide in the corner?"
God,
Shoot.
so aggressive.
He's like, I know it's you. I was like, hey,
yeah, you can't. Well, actually, I wasn't sure.
It's like, I'm still shy, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
So-
shy, but I'm shy also. No,
But I'm not actually shy.
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert when I need to be, kind of person. So like it like clicks on.
Exactly.
And I'm definitely a hugger too. So it's like
Me too.
it's so interesting because like me and Tim like met in the parking lot outside of the hotel, and I just like instantly like hugged him. It was so
Nice.
Was he like standoffish? You're like,
No, it was like totally natural. It was super natural, but like I don't know if that would have happened right 3 or 4 years ago, but I think it's just the time that we're living into.
No,
Yeah.
there's definitely the hugging and stuff like that. There's definitely certain people that I like hug.
Yeah.
Like Rick Hive, I just like gave him a huge hug because like I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
And like even though like I've met like Ryan so many times, I don't know, I don't hug Ryan. Like
I don't hug Ryan.
I've hugged him before, and he's just like he's like he's like
Duh.
Is it the vibe that's people? Like
yeah, I mean,
Hive is very
like warm.
welcoming and warm.
Yeah,
Ryan's very aggressive.
yeah. I mean,
And then
he's really generous and kind, but just
Yeah.
in different ways. You know what I mean?
it's a drastic change. It's not like in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
Ryan.
there's no in between.
know,
No,
I know.
and they're both here, so it's like
And they're both there.
Yeah.
And they're both buying me stuff. Hey, shout out to Ryan and Hive. Thanks.
oh yeah, it was fun going. We went into so there's also just to give you guys a lay of the land here. It's like so it's one big parking lot. That's all it is. And there's a hotel and there's a conference center of like a pretty small one, and then there's Brick Mania, and then there's like 10 junk food restaurants and a Starbucks, which I would consider part of the junk food restaurants, but the one that I don't mind. And so it's kind of wacky. But anyways, we go into Brick Mania, and I think the guy there knew who I don't know if he knew who I was, but he definitely knew who you were, Shy, and knew who Ryan was and Sands. And I was buying stuff, and he was like, "Oh, are you buying for Shy?" And I was
Dang, you gotta like
No, I'm buying for me.
for me, but yes, I'm also buying for Shy. But then like Ryan had already got you stuff, so he just bought it, and then like it was a lot of fun.
Ryan like FaceTimed me Tuesday. He's like, "Hey, I'm in Brick Mania. What do you want?" I'm like, I guess you're the one getting it for me then."
He got there first.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like little pseudo celebrities, which is like kind of a weird thing as well. And so like people are always like, "Are you Sans? Or are you Ryan? Are you M&R?" And then like Sans, his gut instinct is just to say no.
Yeah, right? You're like, no, I don't know what that is.
No. And then Ryan is obviously more used to it. And he's like, yeah, sure, man. Like, how are you doing? You know, and like is like a lot more chill about it. So it's really fun being with the two of them.
Please tell me you're vlogging this.
No, I don't usually vlog when there's like a kid.
Other kid, yeah,
come up to them. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but you're vlogging the other stuff though, right?
You know, to be honest, I think this is going to be one of my weakest vlogs because like everybody is vlogging and Ryan vlogs all the time. And it's like, there can only be so much footage of me vlogging while other people are vlogging. So
it's like, not your perspective.
Vlogging.
Oh, I'll give my perspective. Don't worry. I'll probably be a lot of
Claire will give her perspective for sure.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, it'll be fun to timeline it all. That's what I'm kind of hoping to do. So I'm gonna steal y'all footage.
Yeah, it's been interesting. There's a lot of like really healthy nerd energy that I've never been in a space.
Yes,
nice.
Yeah, and it's like people that like I knew a few of, you know, in high school that always seemed like uncomfortable and out of place there, but then are super comfortable and like this is totally their energy and their like vibe, and it's like everyone is so happy. Everyone is like, it kind of has the same energy as like when you first go to college or something, and like everyone is there to meet other people and is super open to talking to everybody. It's like very, very. I haven't been in a situation like this in a very long time.
You said high nerd energy.
I would absolutely perfect way to describe that. Like it was like the most epic nerdy situation I've ever been a part of, and I consider myself a big nerd. So like I was like in my element, and I was like, yes, like this is awesome, and like just people being themselves. And like once you start talking to them too, they're like, I'm such an introvert, like I'm so uncomfortable right now, like they would say that, but then they would be the ones talking to everybody. Like it was so fascinating to watch, like from kind of a counselor perspective, like just watching them. And I'm like, you say that you're so shy and you're so introverted, yet you're the one standing right behind your bill talking to every single person here. Like it was
curious. Yeah.
It was so awesome to watch and be a part of that. Just watching people like completely open up and completely like be themselves and feel okay about that, and like visually watch that was epic. It was so cool. So
do you think it like challenges like the whole concept of like introverted versus extroverted? Because it's like, you know, it's kind of simple. It's like, okay, like this is like what you get energy from, you know, either people or by yourself or whatever. But I think it's like the group of people is completely like, you know, variable. And it's like, obviously this is a space where, you know, people are changing. And anyway, it's really nice to be around that. And I'm really, really excited to like continue doing this, you know, for the future. Like it's definitely something I want to keep doing and coming to. And I feel a little bit out of place because like I'm at the core, like very, very nerdy, but I've always like kind of shut that down, you know, for like, social and academic obligations.
Yeah.
And but now like it's like kind of coming out, like, so I feel a little bit out of place in this thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. I felt at home per se, like, but I also felt a little out of place in the fact that like I was one of very few women there, big time.
Yeah.
Which I was honestly kind of surprised about. Like, and the women there were older, so I was one of the youngest women there for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting for sure.
The social media community is not a reflection, I don't think, of like the overall community. I think there's a lot of women that are part of like the old school AFOL gang, you know, and like, you know, stay away from like the internet. They do the lug thing, you know, and so,
it was lug heavy, big time. It was Kansas City lug, and then Lincoln, Omaha lug. Like those were the two big ones. And then Brick was there as well.
Yeah, how was that Macon Island ship?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, so Tim and I were setting up our stuff, and we were walking around, and because on Friday night they do like under the lights, so they turn off all the lights, and then you see the ones that are lit up, which I love. That was probably one of my favorite parts. But during that time, the head people like walk how many plaque things on the builds It's like 3 per category that are nominated. So you don't know that's even happening when it's happening. And so they're walking around and then the lights come on and then you see who the nominees are. I thought that process was really cool. Like, I hope other people do it that way. I thought that was pretty fun.
That's interesting.
But like before that, like earlier in the afternoon, we had set up and we were walking around and we were like, yeah, I like this one and this one. And we picked out literally like pretty much almost all the ones that were nominated. We were like, yep, yep. And then we left and we were only gone for like, I think we went to dinner. So we were gone for like 2 hours. We come back and the ship's there. And we were like, what? Like, what just happened? Like, it was not there. Nothing was set up yet. Not like, and this ship is massive. It's like 2 cars lengthwise big. And you're just like, how did that just happen in 2 hours?
That's awesome.
Like, I did a double take. Like, we walk in and we literally like looked at each other like, was that there before? And we just didn't do it.
Are they going to have that here?
Yeah, it's on its way. They had a car trouble.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Is that going to Pasadena?
Insane.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's insane.
Yeah, Brick may not.
It's super cool. I forget his name right now because
Dan Siskin,
but he was super cool. He was so chill. He was just like, and then this is this
he's a
part.
good dude.
This part.
Yeah, I mean, they have that, like, he designed it easily to break down and set up. So
you could see it. I mean, you could see, the chunks, like where but it came together so well. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
And I'm like, I need to see that, but I'll see it next year. Yeah, I won't be able to see it this year, but yeah, I just want to know what your thoughts were on that thing because it's one of those that kind of hit home to me. So that's the reason why I'm like excited to see one of those.
Well, Roger, he's a veteran too,
How do you feel about that?
He was like. He was like a little kid, like, you know, when you like see adults and they like just like overwhelmed, you know. He was like a little kid in a like a toy store. Like, it was awesome.
That's the good
and it was
stuff.
like awesome energy, right? To just be like standing next to, and you're like, okay, this is awesome. I'm not leaving. Like, I'll stand here for a minute and just feed off of this. So.
See, that's one thing that's really cool with Lego conventions because we all have like a very similar passion towards the brick and like and you're able to be yourself because you know the Lego in itself has somewhat of a stigma, especially a couple years ago. It's only been more like acceptable for adults to play with, like what, a decade ago when Lego Movie came out.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe
if
less,
that,
honestly.
but for the most part, most people consider it to be a child's play thing. And while I know they market it that way, it's still, you know, it's starting to be socially accepted, just like tattoos are. So
hey,
I mean, like for me, my first convention, it was a shock.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is different. Everybody's friendly because I'm used to the motorcycle community. So like, and amongst that, the MC world, which is very aggressive. So like when we go to like conventions, no, not really conventions, more like
meetups,
events and meetups and parties and stuff like that. Everyone's very standoffish. And there's a hierarchy of approach. So like if one MC goes to another, the leader goes up to the leader first, and then it goes in that hierarchy. It's not like a what's up, and then and it goes in rank. So like I wouldn't greet like a prospect or hang around. I would have to greet the patch first. So it's a very standoffish thing. And my wife and family are also accustomed to that because when they come to, they know they're not going to be greeted first. So it's going to be, you know, you go mingle with the families, or, you know, kids go to kids, you know, women, wives go with the wives or girlfriends or whatever. And then it's very harsh. Whereas, or same thing in the military, it's the same exact way. Like when you have like balls or events, it's like, you know, the families go with the families and the Marines get drunk and stupid. But like when I went to a Lego convention, it's like my first interaction publicly in a place that we all have some common denominator why we're there, and all those barriers in which I thought that I was accustomed to was not there at all. Like I can completely be myself and like nerd out, which I wasn't able to do a long time. So that was my first thing. But my first convention, I didn't know anybody. It was very like,
Yeah.
it was still kind of weird. Like I didn't know how to interact with people like me in that fashion. But there is a big difference between that and actually knowing somebody at a convention, because you know, once again, if you're not an introvert, extrovert, like whatever you are, it kind of makes you feel more comfortable to be able to talk and be more open to speaking to others, because they obviously probably know somebody else, and it kind of breaks down that barrier. So for conventions like this, that hasn't happened in a very long time, and you know, everyone's gravitating to like the large conventions or the ones that are very close to them, and more excited than ever to be with each other. That hasn't, like, I feel like has never happened.
Right.
Especially from this past year, when we all kind of got more closer to each other, you know, through an online platform, whether that be Instagram or YouTube. Like, we would have never have met if it wasn't for this platform.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I wouldn't have known about conventions if it wasn't for this platform. And I also don't think if I just like walked into a convention, I don't think I would have had as much fun. I think I needed like a leg
Exactly.
in, like knowing people, because I would have felt the out of place feeling that I have a little bit. I would have had that and like not, you know, been like, you know, maybe this isn't my vibe, or like been like, you know, maybe they don't want me to be here. But it's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that there's a big difference between just like walking through. Because if you would have not known anybody, you would have just been walking through looking at the exhibits, which is cool.
Yeah.
But knowing other people definitely adds a different aspect.
Yeah, like my first time with my family, like I showed up with my son and we had a blast. But then the next day that I showed up, it was just with the friends. And we got to kind of dive deep into like each set, like admire and critique and be like, oh, that's, you know, like start voting. go rummage through all the vendors and be like, that is inexpensive, but I want it and I'm gonna buy it anyways. Or like look at the people who are buying all the sets still on shelves for like double the price. I'm like, no, I'll see that.
No.
You're like, pull me away.
Yeah, no, the Lego store is only like 10 miles that way. Go that way.
Dang, that's the real test. Do you say something? You're just like, I
think to be fair to both the consumer and the seller, there's just something about buying something there.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I think
totally agree.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, I could buy this set over there too, but if I were to justify having to leave the parking lot, drive over there, find parking, and then having to walk over there, I think I'd spend $2 extra just so you get that nostalgia feel to that event and place of the set. So,
$2 extra is worth it.
Yeah, it's nice. Sometimes it can be a little like, okay, dude, why are you selling for the price?
Hey, you know what you're doing, man.
You know, I know what you're doing.
I'm not
dude.
gonna say anything, but you know what you're doing.
I'm not a rat, you know that. But yeah, so convention life is back. Was there? You won an award, Kate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it was for which one, or was it again?
It was best artwork. I'll grab it.
Is it that star right there?
Was it for like all of it, or was it? There we go.
For
so cool.
Lamb specifically, but yeah, I think it was kind of encompassing, but it was for Wham specifically. Yeah.
Now, are you bringing those pieces to the West Coast as far as conventions?
Yeah.
So are you going to bring it south?
I am going to try. I applied because I guess you have to apply for the Pasadena one. So
you're going to be here sooner. Like, I wasn't thinking you were going to go to BrickFest.
I applied for that one in November. So if I
then Ninja Night work for you. Claire, don't come with this one.
Why?
Because it looked okay. So Ninja has already like looked into it, and it looks like it's going to be like only open in hour slots. It's not like we can chill there the entire day.
No, so. I saw that because like they're having it in San Jose as well, like in December, like it's like December 7th or something like that.
Yeah.
And you either sign up for like 9 a.m., 11 a.m., or 2 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if that's going to be worth coming down.
Right.
But
yeah,
I think that, well, obviously that's only public.
Yeah.
So
no, but then well, I'm not going to be my mock's not going to be ready by then. So, but for sure, Bricks LA is going to be a party. That's the big one down here. Bricks LA.
I heard
I was assuming
is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I plan on going that next year. So I'm hoping to see Kate's artwork in Bricks LA. But if you're coming in November, then all the merrier.
I'm hoping to do BrickCon if it's live, because it's in Seattle, so it's pretty close to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Bricks Cascade. And I highly recommend that you come to Bricks Cascade. It's an awesome show. They set it up a little differently than most other ones. So
when's that one again?
March. So it's like spring break. So
yeah, spring break.
Usually the kids are out of school and it's easier to travel, with your family and stuff. But they set it up. I really like it, how they do it. They do it by theme, so not by builder. So like you can enter multiple things in all the different themes if you want to, and they're kind of scattered throughout the room. So it forces you to kind of walk around and like meet people, which is nice. So they do like all the artwork is in one section, all Bionicles in one, all, pop cultures and one, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that about that one. They also have awesome presentations and games typically too. So that was my first one. And like you, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone. Mm-hmm. We just happened to be there. This was before I even did Lego. So we went 1 year, probably like 4.5, 5 years ago-ish. And we just took my son because he was like 5 and he was starting to get into Lego, and we took him, and I walk in and I was like, this is the most amazingly nerdy thing and I love it so much. Like, I wanted this. And it was the same weekend as Nathan Sawaya's Art of the Brick exhibit in Portland, so we did it all like kind of the same.
Wow.
And that's when I knew, like, I walked into that exhibit and I looked around and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Nathan Sawaya is like insane.
And because I was an art history major,
for
college,
sure.
I was done. It was like, I was like, done. Check me off the list. Like, I'm in.
His work is so simple.
Yeah.
Because he uses like nothing crazy. It's mainly traditional brick and studs. It's not anything intricate. And if he uses like, more elaborate bricks, they're just thrown on the floor for texture. Right. You know what I mean? It's not like he's actually utilizing. So he doesn't need the inventory that Lego provides, even though he has access to literally all of it for like a penny.
Yes.
And I definitely recommend anybody who's listening to this, if you ever see Art of the Brick come by close to your neighborhood, even if you've already seen it, check it out again, because he always adds at least 2 or 3 new large pieces, and he sometimes like changes it up a little bit as far as how they're exhibited. So I need to see the one because it's back here down in LA again. I think it's still there for like another week or so. But anyways. That's an overwhelming like brick story.
It was awesome.
Talk about your senses being overly stimulated.
Over and over. And it just reminds me, like, because I had gone away from art for a while, and so it just like completely just brought me back in, and I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this right here is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I went home, broke out my art history books, and picked out Lichtenstein is I love pop art in general, but he was my favorite artist. And I picked out the girl with the ribbon, the blonde, the ribbon in her hair. So I was like, that one for sure. I started with it, and I didn't know anything about Bricklink. I didn't know anything about, even Lego.com, if I'm just going to be honest.
It's okay.
Where you can, pick your bricks and like order from there if you need to. So
I still struggle with that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, me too. It's all good.
And we have a local bricks and mini things, but it's called Dakota's Brick Shop here. And so we go down there, and I'm like so out of my element, and I walk in, and I'm like, and he kind of like notices, right? And we become friends, and he's like, he taught me all about Bricklink, and he has this huge bulk tables. You know how they have the big bulk tables. And I sat there for no joke, like 3 months, and I found all the pieces for my original girl. So there's no new pieces from her. They're all recycled.
Wow. Look at that.
Kind of fun story behind her. And just during that time, like, I would sit and like we would talk, and like he's like, you gotta bring this. And I had started Wham at that point too. he's like, you got to bring these to Bricks Cascade. And I was like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know nothing.
And then he like told me all about the conventions, and I was like, that's a thing. And then I remembered, and I was like, oh yes, oh my gosh, we went there, right? Like we actually went there with Bill, and he's like, you got to bring it. So he was the only, and he had a vendor shop there the year that I went, and he's like, you got to bring it. And so I credit him, because without him, I wouldn't have ever brought them.
Now you love the conventions.
Right. That's awesome though, that you went from like just viewing and you're like, that's so awesome. You didn't even think about being able to display until
0 to 100.
You got, yeah. They're like, you can display.
Yeah,
Like, well, okay.
pretty much. Yeah.
You went from spending no money on Lego to like
Dove right in.
$5,000 in a month.
To learning BrickLink and I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
And
Yeah,
that
the
was
That's awesome though.
Yes, is pretty cheap. The other one's not so much. Yeah.
So now that you are an accomplished winner of Lego competition, do you feel like you going forward, like you're gonna have that like edge to like want to outdo yourself or others?
I mean, being a college athlete, I think I have that ingrained in me, to be honest. Like, I'm a pretty chill person in general. Like, I'm just pretty low key. I don't need that feeling of like quote unquote winning. Like, that's not what it's about. For me, it's more like I want to be able to show them to like inspire, especially young girls, you know, that might feel like, hey, I really like this, but it's not cool, right? Like I don't want to tell anybody about it, kind of thing, you know, especially if they're in high school. Like, it's probably not the thing to be into, but I want to show people that it's okay to be into it, and like that, and that you can do different things with Lego, not just sculptures or buildings or whatever. Like that you can create art with Lego. Like, that's my goal. But yes, I have this inner thing with myself. Like, I'm like, all right, what am I going to do next? You know, like immediately after, like on my drive home, like I was already thinking about the next couple that I want to do.
So do you break down your art pieces then and then start from scratch, or do you get
No, they're all right here. They're all stacked over here.
So you keep them all so you can buy more brick?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't put them apart. Like some of my like smaller ones that I'll do for you know, little challenges on Instagram or something, like I've taken some of those apart, but none of my big ones, no.
Are you gonna stick with pop art?
I have my next Liechtenstein picked out. Yeah. So I've been doing them in kind of a theme. So I'm doing it as a series. So I have Wham, and he did the same thing. So he had the girls, the war ones, posters, and then like the still life kind of off topic ones that were just kind of random. So I've done 2 girls now, a poster, which is Liberty, which is right here behind me. And then Wham I counted as 2 of the war ones. So I'm doing a girl next. And then I have a war one picked out as well. Yeah.
Yes. I'm excited to see those.
I have a superhero one that I'm doing. And a pop culture one that I'm just so jazzed about. That one I want to do. My goal is to have it done by Bricks Cascade. So that one, yeah.
That time's gonna come by quick.
I know. That's the goal. That's
around the corner already. This year's done.
Yes, it is.
This year's done. That's crazy.
How
What do you mean it's only halfway done?
I know. I like to.
No, it's over.
The glass is only half full.
Once you
know
pass
why I
June,
don't-
it's done.
I don't know why I don't like that attitude for some reason.
It's done.
I
Year's over.
don't know. I'm not.
I just want 2020, 2021 to be, let's just gone from our memory. I just want to move on.
I see. That's fair.
I
Never
look
forget.
at-
No, I'm just kidding.
It's funny you say that because like I look at years in terms of like school years. So like I'm like,
So
oh,
it's like half.
it's even started yet.
Yeah, same.
Started. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like winter's not even here yet. Let's
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna segue.
Well, I was gonna like ask about like your process and stuff like that, but I feel like that's gonna be a much longer conversation. And I don't know. Do we have time for that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Uh,
I
well,
just have to work. That's all. But it's all good.
yeah. I guess Kate, have you ever like shared your process and like how you start and like
how I design it.
yeah, and like when you go about getting your brick and like, how do you strategize like those kind of purchases and stuff like that?
I use a pretty basic program called Photo Bricks for Mac. I think they made it's a really older program. So like sometimes it will like glitch out and I'm like, oh my God, it's gone. You know, like I have that
Oh
moment.
man.
I need to screenshot like almost, every time I do it. I've used Studio a couple times. It's pretty overwhelming to me, to be honest. I don't really like it too much. It feels very, it's almost like too uniform. I like to have some flexibility in what I'm doing. So PhotoBricks just, you upload the picture that you want and it gives like a very basic outline. You can put your dimensions in as well. It has all the Lego colors so you can go in and clean it up and design it however you want, color-wise too. So I do that. But it's basic. So you don't pick the pieces, you don't do any of that. It's just color. And I really like that because it allows me to then, experiment with different pieces because I definitely like that's a part of my process is like using different style of Lego pieces instead of
just stop
small one by ones, like most of mine aren't one by ones. They're all different style of pieces.
No. It's so cool. No, you totally like, you totally motivated me to like try something. Like I'm like super, I'm kind of similar. Like I have obviously like architecture background.
Yeah.
A big part of it was art, and like we had to take so many studio stuff, but like I haven't like touched. I used to paint and like do all sorts of crazy stuff. But like I like once you start working in the field, you like don't touch the art side of it at all. I feel totally disconnected from it. So I don't know why Lego. It's like it pulls you in, and like seeing your pieces made me also be like, oh my God, I want to do that. And so like I had you. You've already. I'm not a teenage girl in high school, but you've inspired me.
Yeah, good. And that's everything, right? I mean, that's my goal. So that's awesome to hear. Thank you. Very cool. But yeah, I ebb and flow. I use kind of what I have. Like I'll print out the kind of overall design and then like make little notes next to each color, like of different pieces that I think might work, and then I'll start doing it. And I definitely change as I go. Like at the beginning is typically not like the plan that ends up happening, which is fine. Like I like it like that.
That's like that's the best type of art right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you find, or you're like digging through because I sort by color, not by piece. So like I'll be digging through like that color bin and I'll find a piece and then I have that moment of like, yes, like this is it.
So you just use the program as like a reference. You don't actually use it to get like an XML file to be able to translate to like Bricklink and get all the pieces. You're just looking at it as like, that's what's supposed to look like, and I'm gonna do a freehand after that.
Just a layout to like get dimensions and quantity. Right? Yeah.
So
I guesstimate.
No, that's really cool because I like it when artists do that. I mean, it's great to have when people do it on Studio just because it saves money and effort. But like when you do it freehand, when you're looking at an art piece to replicate, that's a lot of like work that I think goes unappreciated. Because like I know Sam, what's his handle? Sam Hatter. Yeah, Lego Master. He doesn't use anything. He just freehands the whole thing. He does it. He draws grids.
Yeah.
On his mosaics, but his mosaics are very clean. I remember when you showed off one of your your art pieces up close, like there's texture and little hidden gems in them, and that's like it takes it to another level, which I can definitely appreciate. And I'm excited to see in person because I want to see that. Now I'm going to be paying attention to it. So
It's almost like
my
those.
raptor, the dinosaur, is the only one I've used studio for, and it's clear that it's different than the other ones.
It is, yeah.
So you didn't enjoy that process then?
Well, it's funny because like I did it for one of my build series, and my co-host was talking to me about it, and then Tim was talking to me about it too, and because he uses Studio a lot, and then he was the one that actually taught me how to use it. To be honest, and he's like, "It looks awesome! Like you're doing a good job," and I was like, "I hate it."
Since you use Studio, did you use the XML to be able to translate to BrickLink, or did you still go to a normal way of doing it, like just building it from?
I still did my normal way of doing it, and it came out pretty good. Like, I mean,
it's amazing.
I had, a handful extra, which is fine with me because then I can use it for other things. Especially some of those colors. I was like, ooh, those are pretty.
You're attracted to brick color.
Oh, for sure.
I foresee that. Yeah. So do you separate your bricks that way?
Yeah, by color.
You're one of the few. Look at that. Look at that rainbow.
Yeah, they're colored, and all the white ones are like white, gray, and black.
See, that type of organization for you, the work that you do makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you may have said this already, but have you ever came across just a piece that's a certain color, and it just like inspires you? You're like, I got to do something with this color.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the time.
So are you at the point now where you look at a Lego set and be like, I don't care about the set, I just want that one piece.
That piece in that color.
Yeah, and then I'll go order it from BrickLink. I won't necessarily buy the set anymore because I'm like, I love building sets because it allows me to turn my brain off for a second.
There you go.
And just dial in and zen out per se. So I enjoy building sets, and then from that, so a lot of the time I'll remod the set that I've built because I'm like, I don't want to make it like that, or like I want to make, because I'm starting to turn a lot of my modulars into Ninjago Gardens style.
Oh yeah,
cool. Yeah. And so I've done the cinema so far, and that process was so much fun. And now I'm just like, I'm actually like staring at someone. I'm like, yep.
Mundane colors to like bright.
Yeah, they're so bright and fun, and just having like, it's so magical, having all the garden pieces all over it, and it just creates a whole nother world. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's because I know a lot of people do the apocalyptic thing.
Yeah,
and the Ninjago like style to the modulars is like a good take on that, and it makes it more lively as opposed to more death. So, lack of better word for that.
Very true. But yes, I will see. Well, and at the convention, I did the same thing. Like when I was walking around, I was like, "Oh, that's a cool piece," or "Oh, that's an awesome way to use that piece." Like I totally thought of that when I was looking at everybody's stuff. Yeah, it's just my mind doesn't turn off usually.
So, do you have like a routine on what you do during like conventions? Because obviously, like public days, people go in for about a couple hours and they buy something and leave. For someone who's exhibiting and you're there pretty much the entire weekend, and then you have friends there, like, is there like a routine of things that you do? Because obviously, you're not sitting there for the entire 24 hours.
Right.
So.
I like to get there on the builder, or the day before the builder day. So you set up. Well, I set up on Thursday, and then Friday is really just for the builders, which I really enjoy because then you get to really meet people and talk to them about their builds before all the public come in. So I that's my favorite day, is the builder day, and usually a lot of the presentations are then, and the fun little builds. They had like a micro castle pirate ship build thing, and like we all created this like land together. It was really cool, and just kind of getting out of your element and just having fun, right? Like that's what and then the public days can be a little overwhelming because just like, oh my God, there's thousands of people in here, and they didn't put any restrictions on this one. So we had between the 2 days, probably over 5,000 people.
Oh my God.
Walking through there.
Yeah.
Me and Tim were like in the corner most of the time. We were like,
don't touch me.
Here. Yeah, like let's
6 feet.
No, I'm gonna like probably
vaccinated, but
yeah.
I was like,
yeah, I think I'm gonna not be there at the public days, like for like the heavy, like the midday.
Heavy, and it was hot. Like it just made it so hot in there too. And you were just like
get away
in the corner and people watch, right? Like let's go. And the way the art ones, I can't sit behind the table, so I can't separate myself. So that made it a little more difficult to kind of hang around my pieces this time. And one thing I did want to mention, and Claire, I'm curious to see how it goes when you're there. If you could watch this and let me know, I'm very curious. So like before COVID, Bricks Cascade was the last convention that happened. So I happened to be at that one. I had people asking me all kinds of questions, how many pieces, how long did it take you? Like, what's your inspiration? Yada, yada, yada. And constant people would ask that all day long, right? The whole time. You're really conversing with people most of the day. This time of what I noticed, I probably talked to maybe 10 public people the entire weekend.
That's so crazy. Like public people, like builder people.
Not builders, public people.
Interesting.
Like I would be standing right there, right next to my pieces. And like people would look over and like clearly see that like, I was the builder, right? Because you have to wear these little badge things. And I would even like extrovert myself and be like, hey, did you, because they're trying to find all the hidden stuff, right? It's a good conversation starter. And I'm like, have you found all the things? Like, I can help you find them. And they like still would just like not connect,
So weird.
So fascinating. And
gosh, she's talking to me.
Did you have a placard?
Yeah.
Like how long it took to build, how many pieces, so that we don't have to interact? Because I know a lot of builders would do that.
I didn't do that on purpose, just to be able to have that. All I had were the little signs that showed the pieces to look for.
Oh,
so
okay.
Search and find type of stuff. But it was so interesting to watch from, a mental health counselor perspective. I'm like, this is fascinating. Like, this is so fascinating. And I talked
like regressed or whatever, just like become totally insular.
Yes, very much so. Like people have forgotten how to interact with people, I think. Yeah. Because my volleyball girls are the same. Like we happen to be able to have like a season, if you're going to call it that, like last spring. They had to wear masks. We had no fans. It was literally like you walk in, you play the other team, you leave. Like that. It was really weird. Really weird. Right. But like my girls talk all the time, right? They're teenage girls. They're just like all the time. And this last season, it was so quiet, and it took them forever to just even like talk to each other. And I'm like, you guys are like best friends. Like, what's happening right now? And I asked them, and they said, Kate, it's really hard to get in the groove of talking because the mask, they said, like was so subconscious, and it basically told them that they couldn't speak. Like it was like this subconscious thing.
Interesting.
Where it was like covering their mouth, right? So to them, it was like, I'm wearing this, like it's this subconscious thing telling me that I shouldn't be talking. Isn't that fascinating? What? So like after we had that conversation, they started to open up again. But it took like the whole season for them to become more themselves. And now we don't have to wear masks in Oregon, and a lot of them are vaccinated now. And it's like completely different to watch them interact with each other. It's incredible. So, but I think that's part of what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure that's, people will reacclimate. Absolutely. It's just like, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Like I even find myself like I'm super gregarious and like super whatever you would call extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like holding back and like Sans keeps being like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm quiet. Like,
Yeah.
you do you. This is like your space. Like, everyone is recognizing you and asking you to like take.
This
photos.
is your space too, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but like,
embrace it. They all know who you are
Own
too.
it.
They're just scared because you're not saying nothing.
no one knows who I am.
Like, whoa,
but-
I don't want to make her.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, she
Yeah.
looks like she's gonna hurt me.
Nah.
Or maybe they're just not comfortable talking to women.
Oh, that's
Hey, could
true.
be that.
There's a lot of that because you're dealing with a lot of youngsters who are in themselves, maybe just being. I guess I'm categorizing, but just not comfortable at that point yet of their lives. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that's not why I'm here.
Obviously,
Well,
you're there for the Lego and the friends behind the Lego.
yeah, no, I'm honestly here is like I do feel like an observer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first time.
Because it's my first time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for when I'm gonna show.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely stuff that like I have interest in doing and working on that I'm not seeing, which is kind of exciting.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah, there's not a lot of friend stuff. There's a few things and they're like really cool, but it's not the same as others. You know, there's not a lot of like those fun, bright colors and I'm like, okay, cool. There's a space for that, which is like totally what I'm inspired by right now. So
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so
Uh-oh.
excited.
Claire's gonna change the
I'm
game.
genuinely excited right now for you.
So, are there things that you're excited to do? Because, like Kate did mention, like a routine. Like what I do is obviously I've never really showed, but I'm planning to do it with a collab this time around. But like, usually when I go, the first day is with my family, then the second day just hang out with everybody that I know and just kind of chill with them, and then do all the games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do like 3 runs through all the vendors. Like
Mhm.
one initial one with like, okay, that's cool. Maybe I can wait till the end. Maybe because that's the goal is to not buy in the very beginning because that's when they're most expensive.
Hopefully it sells.
Yeah, you see
before I
what
come
sells.
back.
Yeah, and then do one towards the middle, and then one at the very end when they want to move stuff. Hopefully, what you want is still there. And then not only that, there's there's all the games and all the events you want to take part in, and then the closing ceremony. So, are you participating in any of that? Are you looking forward to any of that? And then I didn't even mention all the breaks in between when we go outside the convention is hang out with each other, which I think are the most funnest parts. Like doing other things that don't revolve around the brick at all, like food or stuff that they're doing right now that you're not participating because you don't agree with. So
That's actually not right now. That's why
that's
I got
not right now. I thought they were doing it right now.
No, that's later. But yeah, that's why I gotta go.
What?
I don't not agree with it. It's just not fun for me. So there's no.
No, I don't know. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But do you plan on doing any of that? Do you have a day plan for the weekend?
Not really. I'm just kind of like seeing how it goes and just like
Mhm.
I'm with people who have their routines, and so I kind of want to just like go along with it. We did bingo last night, which was really fun, and they did door prizes and like Joey from Maniac from Bricks won like one of the older Millennium Falcons, which was kind of fun to see.
So cool.
Yeah, and then they like gave away like a Tower Door thing and like all sorts of like some
Ooh.
really nice sets and stuff, but also like a Dimension starter pack. It was like really funny.
Maniac for bricks.
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah,
Joey?
yeah, it's Joey.
Yes,
Yeah.
Joey.
No, I had to say
Yeah.
that.
I've met. There's so many people here, which is really cool. There's like, it's just like so many. Yeah, that's like definitely the best part. And then what else? Like, I need to go soon because it's the first yard sale is today, and
Oh,
like,
yeah. There you go.
I bought.
Don't spend all your money right away.
No, I'm not.
Be
I barely
smart.
spent anything. The only thing I actually bought something at the Lego store because we went yesterday. I got a damaged box.
Just the box.
The set that I wanted. Yeah,
Just the
I
box.
just bought a box. Yeah, no, I got a set that was like damaged, but this Lego store is like really cool. They're clearly run by fans. They have like cool like minifigs like on their badge, and they have like pick a brick out everywhere. There's like boxes on tables.
Oh yeah.
Middle.
Yeah.
Oh, for the
You can like buy by the box. Do you know what I mean? It's like And one of them was like, showed Sans and I an Easter egg that's in the corner garage. That's the set that I bought. That's like totally damaged.
For the diner?
Corner garage. They showed
No, for the Easter egg for the diner.
No, it's an Easter egg for Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even know about that one, and that's like one of our favorite themes, and so that was like really exciting. And then Sans bought this like very rare, not rare, but like super random, like typical like him thing that's like not a standard Lego thing. So we found some really cool stuff, and also going around with Ryan and like people like adoring him. They like
just watching Ryan get swamped.
Well, no, get swamped. Like vendors know him because he's been going for so long, and they give him good deals, and so I'm like. So we'll be like, Ryan, buy us this, or Ryan, and so like,
I really want that.
Yeah, Ryan.
He'll like negotiate, which is good. Sans like doesn't know how to negotiate. Like this one guy was like, I was trying to buy something, and he's like, well, it's $300 on Amazon, and I immediately when the guy said that, I was like, okay, well, you think I'm an idiot, or and then and so I was gonna like kind of work with it, and then Sans comes in and is like, Amazon? Well, who the hell buys on Amazon? And I'm like, oh, let's just leave.
Yeah,
Well, that
how I
just
would do
killed it right there.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. There's no way.
He lost that fight.
Like, you, sir, are crazy. I'm out of here. You could just negotiate. No.
Is there a Lego representation for that event? Was there a Lego representation for Nebraska?
Not that I saw, actually. Beyond the Brick was there. They actually interviewed Tim, which was really, really cool to watch because he was like totally nerdy. He was like, I was so nervous. And like this is someone who like he has like 100,000 followers, right? Like he's pretty natural in what he does. And so he was like so nerding out. So it was like awesome to see him in like that other element that I hadn't seen him in before. But they were there on Sunday. So they were at Brick Rodeo the day before and they
flew.
Sunday, yeah.
Crazy.
So they were walking around. And then the Bricks King podcast was there on Saturday. I really enjoy his podcast.
Right. Yeah.
And so Tim and I got interviewed by him. That was pretty cool. And he's a teacher, which I was like, oh, cool. This is awesome. So, and then they just had different things. So one thing, Claire, that I thought to tell you, because you were mentioning your blog, right? Like everyone's doing one. What we did was we used Instagram because you can have 4 people on at the same time. And the 3 of us went on together on Sunday morning and we each took a row, like, cause there was 3 big rows in the convention hall. And we each took a row and we walked around and showed everybody every single piece. And we did it in 40 minutes. Like it did not.
Wow. Amazing.
And it was super fun. And like the chat was, going and they were asking things and all that. Like we didn't have to talk much, you know what I mean? Like we just had to walk around. So that might be different and something you could do even with streaming.
Virginia, though. I don't know.
Something that
even Beyond the Brick has trouble with Virginia because there's just so much.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not planning. Like I think when I realized how much stuff is there, I was like, okay, I'm not going to show everything.
No,
and that's fine.
You can't.
I'm totally fine with that. It's like going to Cheesecake Factory and being like, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't.
That's what I hate about that restaurant.
No, you don't. And like, I made this decision like years ago. I think it was because I love shopping so much. And you go to a store and you're like, oh, I need to see everything before I buy something. And it's like, like that makes it like miserable. And so it's like that kind of attitude of like needing to see everything before making a decision or whatever is like. And so I'm just like, I'm mostly like focused. I like filmed like a few sets that are like really inspiring, like the ones that I'm like, oh my god, and then like, there's this one guy who has like an old Western set that's actually like a 3-dimensional board game that's like based on this other board game, and it's like all old Western stuff, and he like printed out the stickers and stuff like that. That's also something I'm like really want to start doing next, is like printing, making like signage and graphics and stuff, and like printing out vinyl stickers for my sets and like modulars. And So I've been like looking around, seeing like who does that. And then there's this lady who did like a whole Stranger Things thing, and she like commissioned this one company to like print a bunch of bricks for her and like do like a custom like barb and stuff. Obviously on one is so expensive, and so that's the stuff I like take my camera out and be like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then I'm like been filming like just like the area and like I don't know, like because I've watched a lot of vlogs on it, and like I didn't know that it was just like one parking lot with like everything in it and like what was around it.
Are you outside or are you inside?
We're inside, but like as far as like where the hotel is and like,
located.
Yeah,
ours was similar. It was like we were in the middle of just like nowhere.
Oh yeah,
hotel, like 2 hotels. There's a casino behind us.
Probably the healthiest thing I can eat, and it's like Chipotle. And it's
luckily for the West Coast ones, it's not like that.
Yeah,
they're in major metropolises, so like you could literally just go anywhere.
Exactly.
They didn't have much of a choice out here.
No. So,
yeah.
Are you going to do any events though? Like participate in any of them? I mean, they are fun.
Well, there's like a bunch of drafts and stuff like that. There's like a Settlers of Catan game that I might try to get in on because that's like totally. I love that game, and I think I'm going to build a 3D Lego one. It's been done before, like BrickHuntress did one, but I wanted like that's my favorite board game. And I want to do one like one at my house so that because like we play it like at least once a week with friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be so fun to have like a 3D Settlers.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Right.
Like a Lego, would it be like a Lego version basically?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ninja. Hey, there's something I want to do in Bricks LA. It's an event they always do all the time, and I know a lot of events do it. It's a partner thing, but pretty much we got to build with one hand each,
Oh, man.
and pretty much build one set. And we got to do it we got to do it in 5 minutes.
That sounds really fun. Ooh. The people that I'm hanging out with are like,
I'm ready.
Really?
I'm ready.
Yeah. The people I'm hanging out with are like really competitive and like not a fun way.
Hashtag Ryan.
What are you talking about? Brickstar put the brakes on him on that basketball game.
I know. We got destroyed by Jabo.
I feel like Claire and I were partners. Like we would just run the table on people because we'd be like so undercover, low key about it.
Yes,
damn! It's like I'm like, stop it! Like, don't start screaming like, "Oh,
number one!" Like,
no, number one.
I know. I don't
first
think
or last.
He's never done that, but he's like totally that.
No, we'd just be like, no, we're gonna run the table on all you, and you can just watch, and we don't have to say anything because it's just gonna.
You just stay silent but deadly, and that's exactly what happened. By the way, yesterday, like ping pong schooled everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to talk about it.
Represent.
The people who don't talk about it are usually like the ones that are most successful.
Yeah, you just
know what I mean?
you stay quiet, and then
you never miss
like I'm
quiet
dead.
one. You never miss the quiet
one. And they're like, "Who are you?" And you're like, "Hi, I've been here the whole time."
Thank you. And break it. Peace. I'm done.
Thank you for giving me an advantage by ignoring me. Thank you so much.
Exactly. High score. What does that mean? Did I break it?
No, that's why I used to always win at like laser tag when I was like 13, and like people used to be like so dumbfounded, and it's just like I don't know. There's like certain hand-eye coordination games that I'm like good at, and like beer pong in college, same thing. Like, I had a problem, and it was like it's always like shocking. People are and like I think I shouldn't even like.
Okay, Claire, we know you partied.
No. I was gonna say about yesterday with ping pong, like I think like so Sans played Ryan, and then like I was like, okay, like Sans is like I'm really terrible. I didn't watch it or whatever, and then I was like, oh, I played a couple times, and I go over there and I tell Ryan, I was like, I used to be good at this. He's like, I don't believe you, but sure.
Of course.
And then I was like,
you're like, let me show you.
I was like, and then I like served on him, and he was like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, you're real. You're real.
I could just imagine you spiking the last one, like bam! Like I told you I was good at this.
You filmed that.
No, I didn't film that. It's fine. I mean, like. No, I know that's
even like just spike the last one and then just drop the paddle on the table and walk away.
Mic drop.
You're like, done. Bye. I have other things to do now.
Exactly. I need to go build my Mario set. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're still building it? It's like no pieces.
Yeah. I'm taking my time. It's also like really weird. I'm like, there's all these random pieces left over that I like don't understand what to do with.
You don't have to do anything with it.
It's a totally, and I also
For the characters.
I don't have a screwdriver, so
Okay.
True.
Gonna mess
So
up.
my favorite is that we grabbed it because I was like, I kind of was like, I have some ideas for content to do with it, and so we grabbed it because we got it on clearance at Walmart. And then like Sans shoved it in his backpack and he pulled it out of the plane. And he's like, and I was like, oh, whatever, let's like build it. And then we started laughing because we didn't have batteries.
Yeah.
We didn't have a screwdriver, and it's like literally the dumbest thing to build on a plane. But I ended up.
Did you even bring a screwdriver on the plane?
I don't know if you can,
I
but
don't think you can do that.
but I brought
Let's
like
find out.
I brought like my dots, and I
Sounds
made.
interesting.
I'll show you this because Lauren's gonna get it tonight. But I made Lauren.
Shout out, Brothers with Fish.
Yeah, can you see that? This is-
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I made her a little dots bracelet. I was gonna get
Oh.
one for Ryan and Hype, but you'll never see them wearing it. But still, it's fine.
What? They better rock those dots.
Yeah, right? Oh, if coming from Ninja, that makes sense.
I
Yeah.
gave out a bunch of my love ones because it's kind of like my signature one. So like I lost a piece this weekend, obviously right there, but
Oh, cute.
I gave out a bunch of these like to the builders and
Mm-hmm.
And now I
like
feel out of place.
kids that came by. Like that was the best. Like just watching. So one of the best moments like the whole weekend was just like sitting off to the side with Tim and then like watching people and then like having the kids ask their parents to like take a picture with Wham. Like that was like the best
So cool.
ever to watch. And they're like, take a picture of me like, with this.
That's so
Like
cute.
whenever that happened, I would walk over because I had them all pre-made and I would give them a bracelet and like
Oh,
the kids would just like light up and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah. So
That's so smart. That's so
I'm
smart.
gonna send all of you one of these. You have
Oh
to
my
tell
God.
hey.
colors.
Definitely rep.
Yeah.
No, wait. Like that's awesome. No,
So-
but like
Vic and Bricks is there. Did you
Yeah.
see? Yeah, he has one.
oh, I haven't seen him. I just saw his display. He's got like all the classic space stuff out and a bunch of
Yep.
mosaics. It's really cool. He's back next to one of my friends, and then like there's the kids are. It's awesome. There's like this one kid who's like here. He has like also like a YouTube channel, I think, but like he like has this like Star Wars display, and like his dad is here with him, and his dad is not a Lego fan. He's just here, just brought his son, and like on
Mhm.
his dad's badge, it like says like the guy's his kids handle dad, or like it's like I know, and like that's so sweet because it's like something like I think my dad would have done for me if I'd like asked, you know what I mean? And it's like so sweet, and like there's like also like builds of people that are just like terrible, but they're kids stuff, and it is so cute and so endearing. But it's like there's this like gigantic mock, like Star Wars mock, and it's like literally from 10 years ago, and it's like a bunch of base plates like stacked together, and then all the Star Wars sets like thrown at it, and it's like some like 10-year-old kid, and it's so cute and so endearing, and it's like I think I like those better than like the super talented ones.
Nice.
You know what I
You
mean?
just gave me the perfect idea.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not gonna say it here.
Okay.
What a tease, Ninja. So
Sorry.
we gotta wait. We gotta wait
Yeah.
like 5
Yeah,
months, 6 months for this.
You may never see it.
Oh,
It's a ninja thing.
Ninja build.
But
All right, well,
I should
think
get back.
we.
go spend some money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Get
you
back to
need to
spending
go
money.
back to convention mode because you're living it right now.
Yeah.
Kate can chill for a little bit because she lived it already and prepare for the next one.
We got to get ready.
I am
for,
looking forward to convention life. I wanted to go to Virginia. That was the plan, but life. And
Adulting
it is what it
sucks.
is. Adulting does suck. No, I couldn't go because I'm going to be spending a lot of money at weddings coming up, which are now becoming a thing again because the world is opening up again. So,
Right.
those are expensive. But beside that, Kate, thank you for joining us this episode. We appreciate you. We are big fans of your work and only look forward to what you come up with next. And I'm really excited to see them in person.
Yay. Yeah.
So I am looking forward to that. So I guess if you're coming down here in November, that's the next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see you in person then.
Yes, very much so. I had so much fun. Thanks for having me. It was awesome. That's all.
Does anyone else have anything to share with Kate or yourselves before we end it?
Rock those dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be shy, people. Come on now.
I know Sans has a bracelet. I kind of want him to get to wear it. We'll see if I can do that.
I'm sure you can. All right. With that being said, roll that music. Peace.
Bye.
So, are you going to do a YouTube channel now? So you're now on the YouTube platform.
Very
Or
I
visually.
haven't made it there. I just
Yeah, you're there.
haven't on it yet.
You can pull the other people who are stuck on Instagram too
True.
to the community.